Hello and welcome to the show 5 Minutes with Tejas Bhamre. We welcome back Ms. Sania to continue our previous discussion on the impact of COVID-19 on the Indian economy. As we all know, RBI has taken loads of measures to boost liquidity in the Indian economy. So how effective are they?
Yes, the RBI has introduced a lot of measures to increase liquidity in the economy, ranging from reduction in CRR, reduction in repo rate, reverse repo rate, increase in the long-term repo operations, increase in the export realization period, which was 9 months before. Now it's 15 months. So why have they introduced these? Because banks have been wary of lending, because export deals have been reducing, correct? But what we need to understand in terms of effectiveness is the RBI can only deal with the banks. The banks are what are in the end going to deal with the people, correct? And why are banks not injecting this liquidity? It's not because they don't have liquidity, it's because they're wary of the quality of the loans that they'll be giving out. So along with these RBI measures, we also need some kind of incentive for the banks to give to the banks. So we need incentives in terms of the government giving them credit guarantee, right? The government giving out stimulus packages to businesses so that they know that okay, if we give out this money, there is a chance that we'll get it back, and not all of it will translate to NPS, because the banks are also in survival mode right now. Right? So along with liquidity measures, we need also a lot of robust fiscal measures that will help the banks sort of inject liquidity and help the businesses survive through the crisis.
Talking about the global scenario, the oil prices have gone below negative in the world market. But still, the prices in the Indian markets have not changed. Can you please explain this concept in simple terms?
Oil prices, yes. So why have oil prices been falling? Very simple. We're all in lockdown. We don't really need as much oil as we did before. Almost all airlines are shut, and they are the biggest consumers of oil. So if supply is still in the same place, and supply can't be immediately cut with response to a demand, it costs a lot to stop production in an oil well, and it costs a lot to store the oil as well. So because of that, they're just trying to get the oil out of their hands, and prices have fallen even to a negative point, right? Why has this not benefited India in terms of a price fall? First thing is that most of what we pay for our oil is ridden with government excise duty and government taxes, right? Which they've increased even more now. Why? Because our revenue has been decreasing, right? The tax revenue has been decreasing, expenditures have been increasing in terms of stimulus packages, in terms of healthcare expenditures. So to make up for that, they're going to the petrol route, and they're increasing excise duty on that petrol, on the oil that we're importing. Second big reason is that the rupee has fallen a lot. It's what, like 76, 77 to a dollar right now. So whatever we gain in the price fall, we lose because we have to pay more in terms of rupees, right? We import oil. We're a net importer. So because of that, we don't really gain much in terms of the exchange rate. Third is the demand for oil. So the whole world is not demanding, and so are we. We don't need as much oil as we did before. So even if the price falls, we will not be benefiting for that price fall because we don't need that cheap oil. Even if it's very cheap, we don't need that oil, and we don't know how to store it. I think those are the main reasons that oil prices have not been beneficial to us, and will not be beneficial to us in the short term, at least till we're in the lockdown.
Talking about the latest Jio and Facebook deal, what do you think? How it will be beneficial to the Indians?
So Facebook recently bought a 9.99% stake in Jio for some $5.7 billion. Right? Their big plan through this is to launch huge comprehensive app where everyone can make payments, do bookings, shopping, etc. all on one app, right? Which would be very beneficial. Right now, also they have launched a mini part of it. They've launched something called JioMart. So through WhatsApp, I can place an order to small grocers, and someone will create that order and deliver it to me. It's beneficial for customers in the sense that they get a larger supplier base. It's beneficial for suppliers and small grocers especially, that they can digitize on their business. They can digitize their business through this, which they could not have done themselves, right? So they get to explore a new avenue of business, especially right now where they aren't seeing a lot of footfall in their shops. So I think it's great. I think it's very beneficial to customers and small businesses if they really pull this through. But the biggest concern is the amount of consumers that Facebook and Geo combined will be a huge data concern. I think right now they have specified that there is no data sharing, it's not part of the deal, but it is still a danger coming in the future. So I think, yeah, it has potential for a lot of great business opportunities, but we also have to be careful.
Thank you so much, guys, for your patient hearing. Hope that you got all the news updates in a much more detailed and easy form. So, we'll meet Miss Sanya in the next episode where we'll talk some more things about China. Okay, so see you guys there. Thank you.